You are listening to What I Do Online Radio, a station that cares about how you feel and how you think.
We are Wadado Productions. This is Wadado Productions. We are Wadado Productions. Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world.
Hi, my name is Layla. I'm all the way from Conductors Productions in South Africa, and welcome to Ola Tech Show. I'm having a Dwagger today. I'm here with my curvaceous, vivacious, beautiful presenters, Usbulelo Noneli. Today is our last episode. As you know, our first episode is available online. Feel free to check it out. Today we're still on Taxi Conductors. All you have to do is just stay glued to your screen because we'll be having Mr. Brian Kanyile and also Mr. Sizwe Makatini joining us today.
Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world.
Firstly, I'm so excited about today's episode, and thanks to our special guests for taking their time to come to our show today. Mr. Sizwe, briefly explain to us the main reasons for taxi conductors in a taxi.
Taxi conductors, they play a huge role in our community, and they help a lot when we're having elderly people who are using public transport, and they play a huge role in maybe keeping the taxi clean, and they do a lot of things like maybe collect cash so that the driver will concentrate on the road, keeping the passengers safe.
And my second question, if a driver drives like a crazy person and the road is unroadworthy, as a passenger, do I need to find alternative means of transportation?
Well, just for a short period of time, it would be good for you, but it won't be good for everybody else. So since you've seen the problem, since you have managed to allocate where the problem is, it would be better to notify whoever is responsible for the taxi. Or maybe if there's an office for the association, that then could be acceptable. And everybody's welcome to make reports so that the taxi business goes on much better.
And is it safe for passengers to accept lifts from strangers?
Definitely not. You can't accept lifts because you don't know whether the person is a trustworthy person or maybe a person who's after something.
Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world.
Hi, Sizwe. My first question for you is, can you please tell us about the taxi industry that you work in? Just tell me briefly what it's about.
Well, the taxi industry that I work in, it's got a lot of routes. And routes, it's like from point A to point B. So there's a lot of people who are using those routes. So it's actually called Grand Westgate Taxi Association. Yes.
Okay. I'm sure you did observe the first episode that we did, and there was a lot of issues that were raised about the taxi conductors. Can you just tell me your opinion on that? What do you think about that, based on the first episode?
Well, the problem is that with the taxi conductors, there's good conductors and there's also bad conductors. We have to state the facts. So with the bad conductors, we have a problem because with the experience, once you've experienced a situation with a bad conductor, it would be difficult for you to maybe see another person as like, okay, now this one is good. You have that thing with the conductors, like, okay, hey, here's a conductor, then I must tense up, you see. Yeah, but they are good conductors. They are respected conductors, and people who are working for their families, who are not coming for like maybe to buy drugs every weekend. They are all over the show. Yeah, so you do get good conductors and you also get bad conductors.
And my last question for you is, can you just give me the exact job description for a taxi conductor? What exactly is expected of them?
Taxi conductors, their expectations is, well, first of all, they have to make sure that the combi is clean all the time. Because each and every load that the combi is taking, there's bound to be something maybe that's spilled, or maybe there's food. You get a lot of things, and conductors have to make sure that the kumbi is ready for the next trip. And also, conductors have to make sure that they collect the money, they make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible. And also, passengers, they also tell the conductors where their stop is, so that the driver will concentrate, make sure that everything is safe on the road, and put his mind on the road. He mustn't like wait for the passenger to tell him where the next stop is. The conductor is going to have to do all of that. So basically they play a huge role on keeping the safety on the road at its peak.
Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world.
Thank you so much, Sbulela. That was very informative. So my first question for you is, how do you employ them? How do you employ taxi conductors?
Well, taxi conductors, they all come in the morning at 7, and then everybody wants to be hired. But basically what we normally look at is how you dressed, how you represent yourself, and especially if you can count.
So do you employ them, or do the taxi owners employ them?
No, drivers employ the conductors.
Okay, so basically the taxi owners give you that much authority, that much trust. It's saying, this is the kumbi, you do whatever you have to do as long as you give me money at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Okay. My second question is, do they go through a specific teaching, or how do I rephrase it? Do you teach them the ropes as a taxi driver? Do you teach them the ropes? Do you tell them this is what you do, this is what you got to do, or you just tell them wing it?
No. We have to tell them what to do.
Yes.
But unfortunately, we're not all good teachers. So you do get drivers who are like, you're here to do your job and I don't care how you do it.
As long as you make me money.
Whether you can be rude or whatever you do, as long as there's money. As long as you can count. Even if you can't even wash yourself, but as long as you can count, then it's good.
I've experienced 1 or 2 of those, trust me. So I just want to know, what is the relationship between the community members and the taxi conductors? Do they respect them? Do taxi conductors, how do you as a taxi driver feel that the taxi conductors treat the community?
Well, the problem is that if you want respect, you have to give respect.
So basically respect is earned.
Exactly. So if like maybe a few conductors, they do have like serious respect, and then there's those. But at the end of the day, respect it's a much better way of making contact with people. And so you do get those conductors who have problems with respect, and some of them, well, that's what we all say, that if you can't respect other people, probably it's because where you come from, there's no respect.
So basically charity begins at home.
Exactly. So if maybe like my kid was a conductor,
yes,
if he's not a respected conductor, that means he doesn't give respect to other people. So that's going to reflect back to me.
To you as a father.
Exactly.
I understand. I truly understand. Before I ask you the last question, I just want to ask you a hypothetical question. If there's an incident in your taxi, you as a taxi driver, there's a huge incident in your taxi, and me as a passenger, I'm complaining, this taxi conductor is basically not doing his job. You know how you go into a bank and you complain, you say this teller is not respecting me. How do you deal with that as the taxi conductor's employer? How do you deal with that?
Well, I think the best way to do that is, first of all, shouting won't help. It will probably make the situation worse.
Okay.
So what you would probably do is make sure that the conductors, you have to tell the person, listen, just try and calm down. Don't talk back. First, do not talk back to the passengers. So you have to keep calm, relax, don't talk back. If the passenger is giving you problems, then you as a driver, talk to the passenger.
Okay.
Tell the passenger that, okay, no, my conductor is wrong, I can see and I apologize. Even if the passenger was wrong, apologize.
So basically the customer's always right.
Exactly.
So last question. If you as a driver, you're in danger. Maybe a hijacking or something hypothetical. Do you as a driver leave the Kumbi abandoned and go AWire? How do you deal with those situations?
Well, on that situation, now that's where Kumbis are good.
Explain.
You see, even if you don't know the Kumbi,
Yes.
even if it's a Kumbi from Durban or Joburg, taxi conductors and taxi drivers, they are united. And if they see a Kumbi in trouble, everybody's gonna stop. Everybody's gonna wanna like maybe take part in whatever is happening and solve the situation.
So basically, you're a united front.
Exactly.
Taxi association for everyone.
We might fight from time to time, but whenever there's a situation, then we come together.
And unite and fight for each other. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being with you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, after this, we're going to have a quick recess where a gorgeous guy is going to do some trumpet for us. But then, in the meantime, stay with us.
Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world.
Okay, Sesbuile Foods with the Bodaido team. Siyabonga so much, Ayanda, for that wonderful tune you've just given us. Back to Mr. Brian Kanyile. If I may ask you a few questions. If I'm being threatened in a taxi as a passenger, should I move seats or should I get off the next stop? Or if I feel threatened or face danger while I'm sitting in a taxi, perhaps if danger is real, should I make a noise or attract other commuters?
Obviously, a passenger has to make his or her own discretion. The first person that comes to my mind would be the driver. There's a driver and a conductor, so I'll let them of that whatever imminent danger. And if, I don't know, I think it's just one of those instant decisions that you just make. Well, maybe maybe you're sitting next to the door, you'll probably just jump out immediately on the next stop, you know what I mean? But it always depends on the magnitude of that imminent danger. And I think that, but the first person really you should alert is the driver.
The driver
the
himself. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's back to you, Spoblin.
Okay, thank you. My question for you, Brian, is it safe for a passenger? As a passenger, is it safe for you to wait for a taxi in a dark area, or should you stay close to the shops and other commuters?
Obviously, it's always, I think, preferably where there are more people. Especially in the evenings or at night. Why stand in the dark by yourself? Rather, these, for example, we are kind of low marketing commission. There are meter taxis there and stuff. Be at least around those people if you're waiting for another taxi or some other car. Because there are street kids there, there's always that possible danger. So rather be surrounded by some people that you can feel safe around. Possibly the choice would be the taxi people there. So why stand alone? Why put yourself in danger? It's like walking in a passage. These passages in our town. you can see which this is a long passage and there's no one else but yourself walking through that. Why do you really decide to walk through that passage? Rather use the main road where there are cars and other people. You're avoiding danger. That's the whole point. So yeah.
Thanks. My second question for you is, do you think it's safe to just drive with only you as the passenger and the driver and no one else in the taxi? Would you be comfortable with that? Do you think it's safe to do that?
Look, nobody is safe these days. You can never also say you are safe because you are a man or crazy things happen these days. But again, you make your own discretion, particularly if you're a woman, because the level of rape these days, for example, is very high. And I think if you are feeling uncomfortable as a woman or as a person, a man, for that matter, in any way possible, you'd rather jump out of that taxi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Back to you, Leila.
Okay. I just want to know, it's basically about paying attention on the roads. I just want to know, is it, how do you feel with taking drugs, drinking, and driving exceeding the speed limit? What's your take on that?
Do not drink and drive. That applies to drugs as well. I mean, if you're doing your whatever that you're doing, rather be at home, do that at home. I don't think anything that is a drug should not be affiliated with any hectic situations
at the point.
because there's bound to be some kind of danger or trouble there. So, I suppose if you want to drink, stay at home, buy your drinks and keep them in your fridge. Stay at home and do your thing.
Invite your friends.
Yeah.
Invite your friends and have a ride.
Unless you have a driver.
Well, my second question will basically go to the both of you. As car owners, how significant do you think you should? How often should you check that your vehicle is roadworthy, petrol, tires, all the necessary bits and pieces that you as a passenger don't really see because you just sit on the seat, and you as a driver that you obviously as you're driving you can feel it.
Well, I think that goes with time. The more you are a driver, the more you know that every day, it just becomes a habit. Every day, every morning, you check the Kumbi or you check your car. I mean, it applies to everything. Car, Kumbi, bus, everything. You have to check all the time. Check for tire pressure, check for everything, leaks and everything. You don't have to be a mechanic.
Before you leave, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, and my final question, it's not part of the whole discussion, but I just want to know, what's your take? Both of y'all, what's your take? Basically, in a hypothetical situation, you get mugged or you get hijacked. What's the first things that go into your mind as a car owner, as a taxi driver, either way? Or have you been in the same situation?
Well, I haven't been on the same situation as other people have been, but what I would suggest is there's a law that says you have a time frame to report a crime, and I think it's enough for you to gather yourself and think straight, because everybody knows when there's danger, you don't get time to think. But you get time to react. And if, unfortunately, your reaction didn't help you, well, what can we say? It's a situation. But at the end of the day, whatever happens, you need time to regroup. And then you have enough time to make that report.
Okay. I just want to know, taxi drivers, because I've seen these situations a million times. Do you keep a weapon in your car? Like, hypothetically, someone's trying, you just pull out a knobkiri under your chair. How does it go? Like, your take, basically.
Well, in that case, as I said before, you get people who are humble, you get people who are relaxed, easy to talk to, and you get those people who are like, well, I don't know you, and I'm not afraid of you. Yeah, that's what other people say. They say there's like a group of people who are not afraid to fight.
Exactly. You didn't give me my 10 rand change.
But come to think of it, you can fight and you can even win the fight, but at the end of the day, already you are a criminal because you just did something to somebody who's gonna, at the end of the day, go to the police and report you.
And you also created a gap of animals. What you call it? Enemies. Yes, well, animals.
Thank you so much. Well, it's back to Uneli.
So I guess into esiyifundile la namhlanje is moral of the story ukuthi if you are a passenger or driver, you must know which route to take, where you must let a trusted person, ekhaya noma a friend, know where you've headed. So khona bezokwazi ukuthi mawungafikanga lapha basiqala lapho ukubheka and things like that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yes. And you must also make sure that you keep a safe distance from the car that is in front of you. That will allow you to move away in the case of a danger. And you must also just be aware of your surroundings. When you stop or you slow down, you can see if there's anybody suspicious that's coming around, and then you must make sure that you act appropriately.
And of course, to guard against any distractions. There will always be distractions on the road. Whether it's a guy asking you for money, you roll down your window. The minute you take out your wallet, boom, so always remember that. So I want to say thank you to our guest. But before Sivale show, I just want to know any tips and traits that you want to add on.
Well, what I can say is we're all human. We're all the same. And we all have our time of having tempers and everything. But if we can please try and avoid taking your temper to people who don't know what happened and whoever did what to you, and then you take whatever anger you have from that person, and then somebody else gets hurt or maybe having issues with you.
Okay.
We touched on safety a lot, and I think people need to remember to always put their lives first. Particularly passengers, don't just stand anywhere. And respect each other. Let's respect each other. That's important going forward.
So basically,
and safety, yes, and safety, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much to my guest, and this was a very empowering episode. So if you do, don't forget to check us out on Facebook on Potato Online Radio, and we will be telling you more about our topics for the next session. Cheers.
We are Dado Productions. This is what Dado Productions. We are Dado Productions. This is what Dado Productions. We are Dado Productions. Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world.
You are listening to Potato Online Radio, a station that cares about how you feel and how you think.